Brown's sideline sparks. Shedeur Sanders and Jeudy address animated sideline exchange. The moment the camera zoomed in on Shedeur Sanders and Jeudy along the Cleveland Browns sideline, the entire stadium seemed to freeze for a breath, and in that instant, what had been a quiet symbol of the team's ongoing frustrations exploded into the national conversation. Cleveland was deep into a painful 26-8 loss to the San Francisco 49ers, a game that offered little rhythm, less comfort, and almost no promise for an offense still trying to redefine itself under the weight of expectations and the uncertainty that comes with a rookie quarterback steering the ship. Sanders, making just his second NFL start, sat on the bench reviewing the tablet that now serves as a modern playbook, while Jeudy, the wide receiver once celebrated for his Pro Bowl brilliance, leaned toward him and began speaking with a level of intensity that cut through the noise. The cameras caught every second. Jeudy's gestures sharpened. Sanders rose to respond, the two of them shoulder to shoulder in a conversation teetering somewhere between instruction and frustration, between accountability and emotion. It wasn't violence, it wasn't chaos, but it was raw, the kind of honesty football tends to draw out in those who care too much to hide their disappointment. By the time the clip hit social media, fans, analysts, and talking heads had dissected every angle, every facial expression, every frame of the exchange, searching for clues of a deeper fracture within a Browns offense already under scrutiny. As the video went viral, theories grew louder. Some saw a rookie quarterback being challenged by a veteran star. Others saw a once dominant receiver unraveling in the pressure of a down year. Still others believed it was merely the growing pains of two highly competitive athletes chasing the same goal but struggling through the same frustrations. Reports from ESPN hinted that the spark might have come from a missed deep shot earlier in the game, a moment where Jeudy had gotten separation and expected the ball, but Sanders, under pressure or still adjusting to the speed of the league, couldn't connect. For Sanders, the afternoon had been one of incremental progress overshadowed by the weight of the scoreboard. 16 completions on 25 attempts, 149 yards, a touchdown, but none of it enough to generate momentum against a 49ers defense that seemed determined to challenge every inch of turf Cleveland wanted to claim. For Jeudy, the day was another chapter in a season that has drifted far from his 2024 Pro Bowl breakout. 3 catches, 26 yards, no rhythm, no spark, just questions about why a player whose route running once carved defenses apart now struggled to find space, timing, or connection with the new quarterback leading the offense. The sideline moment became the perfect microcosm of the Browns' season. Messy, emotional, unfiltered, and magnified by the looming pressure of unmet expectations. Fans debated whether it showed leadership or immaturity. Analysts compared it to sideline blow-ups from stars across NFL history, arguing about whether those moments had ignited teams or fractured them. The speculation swelled until both players, tired of the noise, finally stepped forward. By midweek, Sanders addressed reporters with the steady calm that has become his signature. He didn't elaborate, didn't fuel the fire, didn't invite any more controversy. He simply said they had talked about it privately and moved on, shutting the door with a maturity beyond his experience level. Jeudy offered more detail, acknowledging the passion that boiled over, calling it part of the emotional nature of a game that demands perfection in a world where perfection is impossible. He admitted, almost with a reluctant smile, that maybe next time he would have the discussion off camera, away from the thousands of eyes waiting to weaponize any sign of tension. And then he made the part that mattered clear. His relationship with Sanders was fine, strong even, and the exchange wasn't about division but about wanting more from the offense, from each other, from themselves. Kevin Stefanski, steady in his leadership, brushed off the incident with the ease of a coach who has seen far worse. Families fight, he said. Teams argue. Groups built on passion will inevitably clash under the heat of competition. He saw no problem, no fracture, no reason for alarm. To him, it was simply a moment. A loud one, a public one, but still just a moment in a long season filled with them. But beneath the calm words lies the very real tension that continues to shadow this Cleveland offense. a frustration built not on egos but on stagnation. Jeudy's decline from Pro Bowl form is no longer a minor slump. It's a sharp and visible drop-off that has affected the team's rhythm and his own confidence. Sanders' entry into the NFL has come earlier and with more pressure than anyone could have expected, and the Browns have thrust him into a role that demands both immediate impact and instant maturity. The offense has sputtered in ways that feel systemic, not isolated. Each incompletion feels heavier. Each missed opportunity carries more consequence. And each loss adds more urgency to the search for chemistry, timing, and identity. The exchange between Jeudy and Sanders wasn't about anger. It was about desperation. About two players who know what it feels like to dominate, who now feel the weight of a season slipping under them. That's why the world noticed. That's why the clip spread. That's why it resonated in a way most sideline disputes don't. Because it wasn't two people arguing. It was two talented athletes wrestling with the uncomfortable truth that things aren't clicking the way they need them to. And because they both care, they both reacted. The real test isn't what happened on the sideline. It's what happens next. With the Tennessee Titans ahead on the schedule, Cleveland will need the pair to turn their passion into production. A single strong connection, a deep ball hit in stride, a crucial third down conversion, a touchdown that shifts momentum would quiet everything. It would show growth, unity, and promise. It would prove that what the world saw as conflict was really the friction that shapes chemistry, the spark that can ignite something better. Until then, the moment lingers in the air, a reminder of how thin the line is between frustration and fire, between argument and accountability, between a team struggling through adversity and a team searching for its breakthrough. The truth about the Sanders-Jeudy exchange is simple and human. It happened because they care. It happened because losing hurts. It happened because expectations remain high even when results fall short. And while both men insist the issue is behind them, the story, the real story, will unfold on the field, in the plays they make together, in the trust they build, in the moments when everything finally clicks. Only then will the world know what that sideline spark truly meant. And as the week winds toward kickoff, there is a quiet sense of anticipation surrounding the Browns, an unspoken belief that sometimes a moment of raw honesty can do what halftime speeches and film sessions cannot. Sometimes it forces players to confront not just each other but themselves, to recognize what they owe their teammates, their coaches, and the expectations that come with the uniform. Sanders, still finding his footing amid the whirlwind of his first season, carries the weight of proving he belongs. Jeudy, fighting to reclaim the brilliance that once seemed effortless, carries the weight of proving he hasn't lost his spark. Their sideline exchange may fade from headlines, but the echoes of it linger in their preparation, in the determination reflected during practice reps, and in the urgency that shapes every snap they will take together. In that shared urgency lies the chance for redemption, not in words spoken on a bench, but in plays made when the lights are brightest and excuses hold no power.